All right. In this class, guys, we are solving paper 1, Feb March 2023. Okay. The first question is, a line has an equation y equals to 3x minus 2k and a curve has an equation y equals to x squared minus kx plus 2 where k is constant. We need to show that the line and the curve meet for all values of x, all values of k. So first step is to equate the two equations. 3x minus 2k is equals to x squared minus kx plus 2. Rearrange the terms. So you get x squared minus kx minus 3x plus 2 plus 2k equals to 0. Now you're going to rearrange it. Simplify it. If you take minus sign common, you get k plus 3 as the coefficient of x plus 2 plus 2k equals to 0. Now, if we know that the line and the curve meet for all values of, we need to show that the line and the curve meet for all values of k. So let's calculate the discriminant, b square minus 4ac. Let's calculate the discriminant expression. B square minus 4 times a is 1, c is 2 plus 2k. Do not write anything over here. You need to show that. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आप equals to 0, greater than 0 और less than 0 अभी नहीं लिखेंगे. So this is going to be k plus 3 the whole thing square minus 8 minus 8k. Expand this, k square plus 6k plus 9 minus 8 minus 8k. You get k square minus 2k plus 1. k square minus 2k plus 1 completing square form में अगर लिखोगे तो ये हो जाएगा k minus 1 the whole thing square. Now, why was the completing square form necessary? ताकि आप ये show कर सकें कि any value of k you plug in, the discriminant is always positive. If the discriminant is always positive, then the line and the curve will always meet. So since k minus 1 the whole thing square is always positive for all values of k, b square minus 4ac is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, therefore line and curve meet for all values of k. We need to show that it's going to be greater than equal to 0. Okay, it's going to be greater than equal to 0. Yes, you are right. Instead of writing always positive, I should write is 0 or greater than 0. I should have written this. Greater than equal to 0 for all values of k. Therefore, b square minus 4ac is always greater than equal to 0. Hence, the line and the curve will always meet. We have to show that's why we have to show that's why we haven't taken any sign over here. Okay, that is the working for the first part, first question. Moving on, Rafi, if you have any questions, do let me know in the chat box. Second question, a function f is defined by f of x equals to x square minus 2x plus 5. The domain is for all real values. A sequence of transformation is applied in the following order to the graph y equals to f of x to give the graph of g of x. The order is already given. The first order is stretch parallel to the x-axis with a scale factor of 1/2. Then reflection in the y-axis. Then stretch parallel to the y-axis with a scale factor of 3. Find g of x, giving your answer in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So we are going to start by f of x. The first transformation is a stretch parallel to the x-axis with a scale factor of half. So how will I write this? It's a stretch, it's a horizontal stretch parallel to the x-axis. So with a scale factor of half, so it's going to be f of 2x. When you are dealing with a horizontal stretch, f of x goes to f of ax, where a is the reciprocal of the stretch factor. If the stretch factor or the scale factor is 1/2, then a value would be 2. This means that in the function you are going to plug in 2. So to start off with, f of x was x squared minus 2x plus 5. After the first transformation, this is going to be 2x squared minus 2 times 2x plus 5. Okay? Then the next transformation is reflection in the y-axis. Any function that is reflected in the y-axis will have an equation. If I transform this equation, if I reflect this equation in the y-axis, this will become minus f of 2x. So what I have to do now is I need to multiply this entire function f of x by 2, by minus 1. And then stretch parallel to the y-axis with a scale factor of 3. So I'm going to stretch this by a scale factor of, oh, my bad, sorry. This is reflection in the y-axis, not the x-axis. Y-axis, it's again a horizontal transformation. So f of it's going to be f of minus 2x. Okay, please make a correction over here. This is going to be f of minus 2x. Uske baad, it's a stretch parallel to y-axis with a scale factor of 3. So now I'm going to multiply this by 3. So I need to multiply this function by 3. ठीक है, पूरा का पूरा function 3 से multiply हो जाएगा. After this, you just have to simplify this in this form. इसको simplify करके दें. That's going to be 4x square plus 4x plus 5. And then when you multiply it by 3, you get 12x square plus 12x plus 15. ठीक है? This is the working. Okay, ये हो गया question number 2. Question number 3. A curve has equation y equals to 1 upon 60 times 3x plus 1 the whole thing square, and a point is moving along the curve. Find the x coordinate of the point on the curve at which the x and the y coordinate are increasing at the same rate. What do we understand by this statement? The rate of x is dx by dt and the rate of y is dy by dt. We need to find the x coordinate जिसमें dx by dt is the same as dy by dt. We have been given the equation of the curve. So when you differentiate this equation, you are going to get dy by dx. So what's dy by dx? 1 upon 30 times 3x plus 1 to the power of 1 times 3, which is 1 upon 10 times 3x plus 1. Okay, we need to find dy by, now we need to find the x coordinate. Okay, so dy by dx is same as dy by dt times dx chain rules times dt by dx. Okay, now dy by dx is 1 upon 10 times 3x plus 1. dy by dt and dx by dt are the same. Okay, so this is same as this dy by dt and this value are exactly the same. So if I want to replace any of them, dy by dt is same as dx by dt. So that cancels out and this is equals to 1. So that means 1 upon 10 times 3x plus 1 is equals to 1. And when you solve this for x, you get 9 upon 3, that's 3. So when x is 3 on this curve, the rate of change of x and the rate of change of y is the same. That is the working for question number 3. Okay. Question number 4. The circumference round the trunk of a large tree is measured and found to be 5.0. After 1 year, the circumference is measured again and found to be 5.02. Given that the circumference at yearly intervals form an arithmetic progression, find the circumference 20 years after the first measurement. After the first measurement, so initial value would be 5.02. Okay. T, we need to find T20. T20 would be A plus N minus T20 would be A plus 19T. The starting value is 5.02. The difference, okay, what's going to be the difference? 0.02 plus 0.02. So after 20 years, what's going to be the circumference? Calculated. Five point four. So you're starting the counting after the first measurement. So first measurement के बाद first measurement is 5.02, not 5. And you need to find the circumference at yearly intervals 20 years after the first measurement. सही है? तो 5.02 के बाद 5.04 will be your measurement after the first year. इस तरीके से 5.08 will be the measurement after second year. इस तरीके से अगर आप काउंट करते हो तो 20 years बाद you will have 5.40. इनिशियल वैल्यू देखो आफ्टर द फर्स्ट मेजरमेंट बोला है, ठीक है, तो आफ्टर द फर्स्ट मेजरमेंट का मतलब है कि 5.02 के बाद काउंटिंग स्टार्ट हो रही है. सो 5 पॉइंट योर अरिथमेटिक प्रोग्रेशन स्टार्ट लाइक दिस 5.02 5.04 5.08. ओके, द सो द 20th टर्म would then be 5.40. तो फिर आपने स्टार्टिंग में फिर 5 लिया होगा, वो भी सही. Given instead that circumference at yearly intervals form a geometric progression, find the circumference 20 years after the first measurement. Now, if this part was considering this progression to be geometric, then what is going to be T20? The formula for Tn is AR to the power of n minus 1. The first term is 5.02. What's going to be the common ratio? Common ratio क्या होगा? Common ratio is the next term divided by the previous term. 5.02 divided by 5. So 5.02 divided by 5 is 1.004. So the first term is 5.02. Common ratio is 1.004 to the power of 19. Please evaluate this. .42 meter. Okay. Question number 5. Point A and B lie on a circle with a center -2, 5. The line AB has an equation y equals to -2x plus 26. Find the coordinates of B. So we have a circle. We know the 2 points. Let's say A is 7. We know the center of the circle, that is -2, 5. और हमें एक point पता है A, that is 7, 12. ठीक है. Point B कहीं पे भी हो सकता है. I don't know where it is. AB की equation मुझे पता है. That is -2x plus 26. Now, what will we call this line? This line is called point A and B lie on a circle. So circumference पे कहीं पे भी हो सकते हैं A और B. Center है -2, 5. The line AB has this equation. Now, what we call this line? A line that touches the circle at circumference at 2 points but does not pass through the center is called a chord. So one of the property of the chord was that the perpendicular bisector of the chord will always pass through the center of the circle. ठीक है? Okay, we need to find this point. B का point find करना है. Okay, तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं? क्या हम इस perpendicular bisector की equation find कर सकते हैं? और उससे क्या ये intersection point find कर सकते हैं? ओके, जब ये पॉइंट आ जाएगा जिसको मैं कहूंगा मिड पॉइंट, ये पॉइंट ए मुझे पता है, पॉइंट मिड पॉइंट पता है, कैन आई फाइंड पॉइंट बी यूजिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मिड पॉइंट. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले स्टेप क्या करेंगे हम? फर्स्ट वी नीड टू इवैल्यूएट द ग्रेडियंट ऑफ द लाइन ए बी. व्हाट इज द ग्रेडियंट ऑफ द लाइन ए बी? यूजिंग द इक्वेशन ऑफ द लाइन, गिव मी द ग्रेडियंट ऑफ द लाइन ए बी. ए बी की इक्वेशन आपके पास है गिव मी द ग्रेडियंट ऑफ द लाइन ए बी। देख के बता दो इक्वेशन से। -2, सही। द ग्रेडियंट ऑफ द लाइन ए बी इज -2, सो व्हाट्स गोइंग टू बी द ग्रेडियंट ऑफ द परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर? एंड ये जो परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर है वो सेंटर से पास हो रही है, -2, 5। Can I use this information to get the equation of the perpendicular bisector? Y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1। ठीक है, that's the equation of the perpendicular bisector। So ये हो जाएगा 2y minus 10 equals to x plus 2, 2y equals to x plus 12। ठीक है, एक ये इक्वेशन है और एक ये इक्वेशन है। Solve equation 1 and 2 simultaneously। Give me the coordinates of the intersection point M। आई एम गेटिंग 8 and 10 साइमल्टेनियस सॉल्व करने के बाद। ठीक है, तो अब पॉइंट बी के कोऑर्डिनेट्स क्या हो जाएंगे? इफ आई से बी के कोऑर्डिनेट्स हैं x, y, सो x plus 7/2 should be equal to 8 and y plus 12/2 should be equal to 10। मिड पॉइंट श्योर। x की वैल्यू बताओ मुझे क्या आएगी? और यहाँ से y की वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगी? 8। ठीक है, सो b के कोऑर्डिनेट्स हैं 9, 8। नाउ देयर वाज वन अनदर अल्टरनेट वे टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन। बिल्कुल वही मैं कर रहा हूँ। द alternate way would be that you can find the equation of the circle and just solve the equation of the circle and this line equation simultaneously। You can get the coordinates of b। ये भी करके बता देता हूँ। Equation of the circle would be x minus x plus 2 the whole thing square plus y minus 5 the whole thing square equals to r square। Now how can I get the radius? By taking out the distance AC। ठीक है, तो a is 7, 12 and c is -2, 5। Calculate the distance AC। Come again? हाँ, तो 7 plus 2 the whole thing square plus 12 minus 5 the whole thing square square root। क्या वैल्यू आएगी? 9 square plus so square root of 130। So that means this is going to be 130। Equation of the circle यहाँ पे r square होता है। Now you have the equation of a circle and equation of the line is y equals to -2x plus 26। -2x plus 26 minus 5 the whole thing square equals to 130। Expand this and solve for the values of x। ठीक है, this is going to be -2x plus 21 the whole thing square plus x plus 2 the whole thing square, x square plus 4x plus 4 441 equals to 130। 5x square minus 80x plus 315 minus करने के बाद बता रहे हो equal to 0। Now solve this equation। You're going to get the two values of x। One value of the x is going to be 7, दूसरी x की वैल्यू हमें निकालनी है और दूसरी x की वैल्यू आपके पास आ जाएगी 9। When x is 9, you're going to calculate the value of y and y is going to be calculated by plugging x as 9। क्या वैल्यू आ जाएगी? 8। सही है, सो b के कोऑर्डिनेट्स हो जाएंगे 9, 8। तो आप ये वर्किंग भी कर सकते थे। ओके, मूविंग ऑन। In the expansion x upon a plus a upon x square to the power of 7, it is given that the coefficient of x to the power of 4 divided by the coefficient of x is equal to 3. Find the possible values of the constant a. So, coefficient of x to the power of 4 needs to be found out. अब 7cr x upon a to the power of 7 minus r a upon x square to the power of r. ठीक है? If you're good with the observation, you can directly do it. Otherwise, you can just do the simple working and figure out the value of r. X की power 7 minus r divided by a की power 7 minus r times a की power r divided by x की power 2r. 7cr times a to the power of 2r minus 7 times x to the power of 7 minus 3r. Now, I want the power of r to be 4 and 1. ठीक है? So, therefore, 7 minus 3r equals to 4. So 3r equals to 3, r की वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगी 1, and 7 minus 3r equals to 1. So 3r equals to 6, r की वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगी 2. ठीक है? So coefficient of x to the power 4 occurs at r value of 1. r value of 1 का मतलब क्या है? It's the second term. ठीक है? So the working would be 7c1 a to the power of 2 times r minus 7. So that's going to be 2 minus minus 5 divided by r value is 2 for coefficient of x to the power of 1. So 7c2 times a to the power of 4 minus 7. So 7c2 times a to the power of minus 3. Now this is equal to 3 as given in the question. We just need to solve this. 7c1 is 7. What is 7c2? 21. Let's just solve for a. So a to the power of minus 2 is equals to 9. So 1 upon a square is 9. So a would be plus minus 1 upon 3. These are the possible values of a. तुम ये कह रहे हो कि ये वर्किंग करने के बजाय डायरेक्ट 1 और 2 प्लग इन कर दें। हाँ तो हाँ सही है, बिल्कुल सही है। आप 1 और 2 डायरेक्टली प्लग इन कर सकते हैं। इस वर्किंग के कोई मार्क्स नहीं होंगे, लेकिन ये वर्किंग करने से आप ये श्योर हो जाते हैं कि आपने ये सही पोजीशंस निकाली हैं। ठीक है, बट हाँ ठीक है, इसके कोई मार्क्स नहीं होंगे। आप आर की वैल्यू 1 और आर की वैल्यू 2 गैस कर लें तो भी आप ये क्वेश्चन में आपको फुल मार्क्स मिल सकते हैं। ठीक है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 7। By first obtaining a quadratic equation in cos theta, solve the equation tan theta is equals to 1 for theta being greater than, for theta greater than 0 and less than equal to 360 degree. सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे? So tangent theta is sin theta upon cos theta times sin theta equals to 1. Sin square theta is equals to cos theta. 1 minus cos square theta is equals to cos theta. You get a disguised quadratic equation. अब इस disguised quadratic equation को आप सॉल्व करेंगे। ठीक है, पता है कैसे? ओके, डिस्गाइज क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन क्या थी? वो इक्वेशन दैट कैन बी converted into a quadratic form. For that to happen, you should know that this equation should have variables or as a with a power ratio of 2 to 1. So this is 2 and this is 1. So it is a disguised quadratic, meaning this can be converted. So let k be equals to cos theta. So this is going to be k square plus k minus 1 equal to 0. Solve this quadratic equation for me. Give me the values of k. नहीं हो रहा, अगर मिडिल टर्म ब्रेकिंग से तो क्वाड्रेटिक फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करो। k की एग्जैक्ट वैल्यूज बताओ क्या आ रही। मेरे पास एक वैल्यू आ रही है -1 प्लस स्क्वायर रूट 5/2 and the next one is -1 minus square root 5/2. Now this is equal to cos theta. Okay, you cannot have any solutions from here because this is lesser than -1. Cos theta ranges between -1 and 1. So no solution from here. This value is around 0.6180. Now I need to solve for this domain. So cos theta is positive in the first and the fourth quadrant. Find the basic angle first. Cosine inverse of this exact value ले लेते हैं -1 plus square root 5 divided by 2. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So the basic angle is going to be 51.827. So one of the value of theta is 51.827. The other value would be 360 minus the answer 308.17 degrees. Now you round the answer to degrees to one decimal place, 51.8 degrees and 308.1 degrees. 0.2 degrees. Okay, that's the working. Rafa, any questions till here? Moving on. The next part says show that tangent theta upon sine theta minus sine theta upon tan theta can be expressed as tangent theta sine theta. Trig identity. Tangent theta is going to be replaced as sine upon cos. This is being divided by sine theta minus sine theta divided by sine theta upon cos theta. Now, sine theta divided by cos theta multiplied by 1 upon sine theta minus sine theta multiplied by cos theta divided by sine theta. ये रेसिप्रोकेट हो जाएगा, ठीक है। अब this is going to be 1 upon cos theta minus cos theta, ठीक है। Okay, अब if I resolve this, yes, 1 minus cos square theta, which is sine square theta. And if I split the numerator, sine theta times sine theta upon cos theta, sine theta upon cos theta is tangent theta. So that's going to be tangent theta times sine theta. Identity proved. Okay. Done? All right. Now you have a question on circular measure. The diagram shows a triangle ABC in which the, by the way, this question needs to be done always in radian mode. Okay. The diagram shows triangle ABC in which the angle B is 90-degree right angle. The length of AB is 8. So this total length is 8. And the length of BC is 4. The point D on AB is such that AD is 5. The sector DAC is part of the circle with center C. So ये भी एक sector है, ठीक है, with center D. Find the perimeter of the shaded region. The shaded region will include this length and this length. Okay. To find this length or this length, I must have this angle. To find this angle, I must have this angle. So using the trig ratio first, I'm going to find angle CDB. So tangent of angle CDB is equal to 4/3. So CDB angle is going to be tangent inverse of 4/3. Make sure your calculator is in radian mode. 0.927. Okay. Now, what can you say about angle ADC? What is angle ADC going to be equal to? अगर ये वाला एंगल 0.927 है और ये स्ट्रेट लाइन है तो ये एंगल किसके इक्वल होगा? पाई माइनस 0.927. So pi minus this angle, you get 2.214 radians. अब क्योंकि आपके पास ये वाला एंगल आ गया, ये साइड है, तो आप s इक्वल टू r थीटा यूज करके ये आकलन निकाल सकते हो और कोसाइन रूल यूज करके ये भी निकाल सकते हो। और अगर कोसाइन रूल नहीं यूज करना तो यू कैन ऑल्सो रियलाइज कि ये आइसोसेलेस ट्रायंगल है, ठीक है। just find just divide the angle into two. Consider this right angle triangle or this length is going to be half of AC, ठीक है। You can also use this. So to find the length of AC, I can take half of the angle, which is going to be 1.107. This is a right angle over here. I know the hypotenuse side, I need to calculate the adjacent side, so I'm going to use cosine theta. So okay, this is the angle, by the way. Okay, I know I need to calculate the opposite side, so I'm going to use sine theta. So sine of 1.107 is equal to half of AC divided by 5. Do you understand this? Huh? Okay. Do you agree that this is an isosceles triangle? So if you're going to drop a perpendicular line, it's going to divide the two lengths into equal parts. Can I call this length as half of AC? Yes. यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक, ठीक है। अब ये एक राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल है, मुझे ये लेंथ फाइंड करनी है, ये लेंथ गिवन है, हाइपोटेनस गिवन है, ऑपोजिट लेंथ फाइंड करनी है। कौन सा ट्रिक रेशियो यूज करोगे? साइन थीटा। साइन ऑफ दिस एंगल, ये एंगल क्या है? हाफ ऑफ दिस एंगल, तो इस एंगल को डिवाइड बाय 2 किया मैंने। साइन ऑफ दिस एंगल इज इक्वल टू ऑपोजिट अपॉन हाइपोटेनस। ऑपोजिट क्या है? AC अपॉन 2, ठीक है। मैं AC के टर्म्स में इसलिए ले रहा हूँ क्योंकि मुझे AC की लेंथ पूरी फाइंड करनी है। सो साइन ऑफ दिस वैल्यू मल्टीप्लाई बाय 5 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2, सो AC की लेंथ आपके पास यहां से आ जाएगी 8.94 सेंटीमीटर, ठीक है। अब आर्क लेंथ कैसे निकालोगे? आर्क AC would be r times theta. The radius is 5. The angle is 2.214. 5 times 2.214 is 11.07. Perimeter के लिए क्या करोगे? You are going to add the two lengths. So perimeter is going to be 11.07 plus 8.94. ये हो जाएगा आपके पास 20.01 या 20.0. Rafi, are you clear with the working? Okay. Let me know if anyone has any questions. The next part says find the area of the shaded region. Area of the shaded region. So what's going to be our thought process for finding the area of the shaded region? Area of this sector minus the area of this triangle. Sahi hai? Okay. So the working would be area of shaded region is going to be area of sector minus the area of the triangle. Area of the sector would be half times r square times theta. Theta की वैल्यू क्या थी? 2.214 minus the area of the triangle, that is half times AB sine theta. So 5 into 5 times sine of 2.214. Difference calculate करें इसका. 7 point. ठीक है, 27.63 minus 10.03. 17.6 आगे 6 एग्जैक्टली आ रहा था 27.63 माइनस 10.03 ओके 17.6 ठीक है सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर अगर राउंडिंग एरर नहीं है तो 17.6 करेक्ट है okay now question number 9 the function f is defined by f of x equals to minus 3x square plus 2 and the domain is for x less than equal to 1 state the range of the function okay it's a quadratic function completing square form क्या है इसकी minus 3x minus 0 the whole thing square plus 2 ठीक है अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि क्योंकि टर्निंग पॉइंट का x कोऑर्डिनेट वुड बी 0 और y कोऑर्डिनेट वुड बी 2 सही है मैं आपको सिर्फ समझाने के लिए बता रहा हूँ कि आपको ड्रॉ नहीं करना इस तरीके से तो टर्निंग पॉइंट होगा इसका 0,2 लेकिन योर डोमेन इज x लेस देन इक्वल टू -1 so that means you're considering the left side of the function so when x is equal to -1 okay you don't need this part of the graph and you even don't need this part of the graph आपका graph start ही x equals to -1 से हो रहा है so what's the value at -1 f of -1 क्या आएगा -1 f of -1 क्या आएगा when you plug in x as -1 तो you are going to get -1 अच्छा अब डोमेन क्या है x is less than equal to -1 so -1 पे you're getting this and what if how smaller is your x value how smaller is your x value negative infinity ठीक है x is less than if I draw this number line this is -1 and x is less than equal to -1 कितनी x डोमेन कितना छोटा हो सकता है नेगेटिव इन्फिनिटी तक so what happens to your function as x approaches negative infinity your f of x approaches क्या होगा अगर ये स्केच देखो ये नेगेटिव इन्फिनिटी की तरफ जाता ही रहेगा right so f of x approaches negative infinity so your highest value is -1 and the lowest value is negative infinity so your range f of x is just going to be less than equal to -1 the next part says find an expression for f inverse of x f inverse of x के लिए we always need a completing square form luckily this form is a completing square form तो मुझे completing square form बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है I can just make x the subject first replace f of x with y and then make x the subject 3x square would be equal to 2 minus y x square would be equal to 2 minus y upon 3 and then we take square root of 2 minus y upon 3 with plus and minus however together both expression do not represent function either you are going to consider positive root 2 minus y upon 3 as your function or you are going to consider negative root 2 minus y upon 3 as your function ठीक है अब ये कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे over here I'll be swapping x and y because that's what you do when you're making the inverse function okay now this expression is for the range of the inverse function this is going to be the same as the domain of the function what is the domain of the function so the range of the inverse function should also be a negative value. It should be less than equal to -1. The only way this is going to happen is when you take a negative sign. So f inverse of x is going to be negative of root 2 minus x upon 3. Okay. All right. Function g is defined as g of x equals to minus x square minus 1. The domain is x less than equal to -1. Solve the equation fg of x minus gf of x plus 8 equals to 0. So first form fg of x is a composite function का मतलब है function g followed by function f. So in function f which is minus 3x square plus 2 f of x is minus 3x square plus 2. So in function f in place of x I'm going to insert function g. ठीक है and what is gf of x going to be function f followed by function g function g में I'm going to insert function f. Okay, इसको फिर resolve करते हैं, simplify करते हैं. This is same as x square plus 1 the whole thing square, okay? X to the power 4 plus 2x square plus 1 plus 1. कहाँ पे? X square plus 1 plus 2 है, okay, sorry. Yes, this is plus 2. So minus 3x to the power of 4 minus 6x square minus 3 plus 2 would be minus 1. Say this is fg of x. Now simplify gf of x. That's going to be 9x square minus 12, 9x to the power 4 minus 12x square plus 4. You simplify this, you get minus 9x to the power 4 plus 12x to the power 4 minus 4 minus 1 minus 5. ठीक है, अब क्या करना है? We need to take the difference and add 8 and equate it to 0. So minus 3x to the power 4 minus 6x square minus 1 minus 9x to the power 4 plus 12x to the 12x square, okay, minus 5, and then we have to add 8, and then we have to solve this equation. Okay, so minus 3x to the power 4 minus 6x square minus 1 plus 9x to the power 4 minus 12x square plus 5 plus 8 equals to 0. Simplify this. Minus 18x square plus 12 equals to 0. Can this be further simplified? Yes, you divide by 6. So x to the power 4 minus 3x square plus 2 equals to 0. Is this guy's quadratic equation? Yes. So let k be equals to x square. So that becomes k square minus 3k plus 2 equals to 0. Solve for the value of k. Factors निकाल लो. क्या values आएंगी k की? K comes out to be 2 and k comes out to be 1, which is equals to x square. So x square equals to 1 and x square equals to, so x comes out to be plus minus root 2, x comes out to be plus minus root 1, which is 1. But are you going to be accepting all the 4 answers? No, because G की domain क्या है? F की domain क्या है? So you need the values that are less than equal to minus 1. So the only answers would be minus root 2 and minus 1. So you won't get the last mark. Okay. You want to look at the previous work? Okay, question number 10. At the point 4 comma minus 1 on the curve, the gradient of the curve is minus 3 upon 2. It is given that dy by dx is x to the power of minus half plus k, where k is a constant. Show that k is equals to minus 2. So we have a point on the curve and the gradient of the curve. Gradient of the curve, ये dy by dx की value है at this point. ठीक है, dy by dx का function given है आपके पास. If you plug in x की value 4, तो gradient किसके equal होगा? minus 3 upon 2 के. You get this equation? k के लिए solve कर लो. ठीक है, solve करने के बाद k की क्या value आ रही है? हाँ, minus 2. Sorry, extra नहीं है, यही है, half an hour. Find the equation of the curve. So to find the equation of the curve, we have to integrate the function. dy by dx is x to the power of minus half plus k. So if you integrate this, you get y. Okay, k की value minus 2 आ गई, so we are just going to substitute that value. X to the power minus half की integration क्या होगी? ठीक है, अपॉन हाफ। -2 की इंटीग्रेशन क्या होगी, -2x प्लस c। ओके, कांस्टेंट ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन, यस। 2x to the power of half minus 2x plus c equals to y. Now, how can I find the value of the constant of integration? By plugging in the coordinate on the curve. So when x is 4, y is -1. Solve for the value of c. c की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करके मुझे दें क्या आ रही है, 3 आ रही है। Therefore, the equation of the curve would be y equals to 2x to the power of half minus 2x plus 3. सही है? That's the working of part A and part B. Okay. Not necessary. Chalo, we can see it. Part C में find the coordinates of the stationary point. To find the coordinates of the stationary point, I'll equate dy by dx expression to 0. dy by dx का expression है आपके पास x to the power of minus half minus 2. You're going to equate this expression to 0 and solve for x. So squaring both the side will give you x की value as 1/4. When x is 1/4, what's going to be y? So we have now the equation of the curve. We are going to plug in x as 1/4 in this equation. So when you plug in x as 1/4, what value do you get, Abdullah? 3.5, that's 7/2. ठीक है? So the stationary point coordinates are 1/4, 7/2. The next part is to determine the nature of the stationary point. Nature of the stationary point के लिए हम क्या करते हैं? We find the second derivative. We go for the second derivative, which means you differentiate dy by dx function again. So dy by dx is x to the power of minus half. Differentiation इसकी हो जाएगी minus half x to the power of minus 3/2. And the differentiation of -2 would be 0. Okay, now that's the second derivative expression. You need to find d square y over dx square की value at x equals to 1/4. Stationary point क्या है? 1/4. When you plug in 1/4 over here, do you get a positive value or a negative value? Plug in -1/2 times 1/4 की power 3/2. Just plug in. बताओ मुझे पॉजिटिव वैल्यू आएगी, नेगेटिव आएगी? ये आ रही है -4, which is less than 0. If the second derivative is less than 0, then the stationary point is minimum or maximum? Second derivative का concept पता है? Why do we do second derivative? It helps us to identify the nature of the stationary point. So second derivative expression आ गया. अब इसमें मैंने x की वैल्यू प्लग इन कर दी. अब x की वैल्यू प्लग इन करने के बाद इस सेकंड डेरिवेटिव का आंसर आ रहा है नेगेटिव. अगर सेकंड डेरिवेटिव का आंसर नेगेटिव है तो जो स्टेशनरी पॉइंट है उसका नेचर क्या है? मिनिमम है या मैक्सिमम है? मैक्सिमम है. अगर ये पॉजिटिव वैल्यू होती तो फिर ये होता मिनिमम. ठीक है? ऑलराइट. The diagram shows the curve with the equation x equals to y square plus 1. The point A and B lie on the curve. Find an equation of the line AB. AB की equation find करनी. ठीक है? Easy. First find the gradient. y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Gradient comes out to be 1. Okay, y minus y1 equals to m x minus x1. So y equals to x minus 5 plus 2, y equals to x minus 3. That's the equation of the line AB. You can use y equals to mx plus c as well. ठीक है? Now part B says find the volume 9 marks का. Find the volume of revolution when the region between the curve and the line AB is rotated through 360 degree about the y-axis. Guys, notice that they have mentioned this in the bold writing. Okay, so they want you to be careful about this because the working would be different for rotating it in the x-axis and rotating it in the y-axis. We need to find the volume of revolution when the region between the curve and the line AB is rotated through 360 degree about the y-axis. Okay, so what is going to happen? If you rotate this line in the y-axis, you're going to get this type of, okay, you're going to get this type of shape when you just rotate the line. And when you rotate the curve, area between the curve and the y-axis, you're going to get this type of shape. ठीक है. अब हमें अगर ये फाइंड करना है when if we need to find the volume when the shaded region is rotated 360 degree about the y-axis, then we are going to first find the volume generated when the line is rotated at 360 degree minus the volume when the area under the curve, area between the curve and the y-axis is rotated 360 degree. सही, पर माइनस करके आपके पास आंसर आएगा. So the now since we are dealing with the y-axis, we will be needing the limits on the y-axis. So ये B का पॉइंट क्या है? -1. What's the point? What's the y coordinate of A? 2. So first I'm going to rotate the line. Okay. Now what is the formula for finding the volume? Volume is pi times integral of f of x, the whole thing square dx, and you apply the limits. That's the formula for finding the volume when the shaded region is rotated, when the area between the function and the axis is rotated 360 degree about the y-axis. Okay, this is y-axis. Okay, this formula is for the x-axis. Up for y-axis, what you need the function in y, and you need to integrate it with respect to y. Okay, so right now we are dealing with the line. First मैं वॉल्यूम फाइंड करूंगा लाइन का. अब लाइन की इक्वेशन क्या है? y equals to x minus 3. So अगर लाइन की इक्वेशन है y equals to x minus 3, so x would be equal to y plus 3. अब इसका वॉल्यूम निकालना है. pi times integral of y plus 3 the whole thing square dx, लिमिट आ जाएगी from -1 to 2. Okay, now y plus 3 the whole thing square would be y square plus 6y plus 9. I haven't integrated it yet. Okay, now let's integrate this. Integral of y square would be y cube upon 3, 6y square upon 2 plus 9y. Limits आ जाएंगी from -1 to 2. Now you calculate the value of the integral at the upper limit minus the answer at the lower limit. ठीक है, तो ये मुझे करके दें. First plug in the upper limit, then plug in the lower limit. You can also, after you are done with the working, you can always check your answer from the calculator. Okay. Give me the value. मेरे पास 39 पाई आ रहा है. आप चेक करें आपके पास क्या है. अपर लिमिट माइनस द लोअर लिमिट. ठीक है. Now we are going to find the volume when the area between the curve and the y-axis is rotated 360 degree about the y-axis. So for that, I'll be needing the equation of the curve, and that's given already. X has been made the subject. So this is the function of y, f of y. Now for the curve, x is equals to y square plus 1. Now to find the volume, you are going to square the function, integrate it with respect to y, apply the limits from -1 to 2, okay, and then multiply the answer by pi. So वो y में इंटीग्रेट हो रहा है, हर चीज y के साथ इंटीग्रेट हो रही है. Now you expand this. This is going to be y to the power 4 plus 2y square plus 1 dy. Integral of y to the power 4 is y to the power 5 upon 5 plus 2y cube upon 3 plus y. Apply the limits. Apply the limits and give me the answer. I'm getting 78 upon 5 pi. Or finally, the required volume would be 39 pi minus 78 upon 5 pi, which is 23 whole 2 upon 5 pi. Okay, that was the last question.